Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Smart Learning. Hopefully you're doing well. We're gonna study literary and cultural theories, and today's our lecture is about structuralism. And this lecture is going to be beneficial for literature student because we are going to discuss structuralism in linguistics and literature perspective. And I try to make very precise notes for student, and I think they will help a lot in paper preparation. And now let's start. Structuralism is an intellectual movement as it claims that we have sets of underlying structures that are guiding forces for human behavior. It means that we have unconscious structures in our mind, and this movement began in France in 1950s, in decade of 1950s and 1960s. Among its pioneers are Swiss linguist Ferdinand de Saussure, Claude Lévi-Strauss, he was an anthropologist, and Roland Barthes, in a literary critic. Okay, and structuralism is a belief that things cannot be understood in isolation. Rather, they have to be seen in context of larger structure they are part of. It means the context plays an important role in understanding the meaning of a word. Meaning does not lie within word but are perceived according to context. Okay, and structuralist believes that meaning or significance is not a kind of core or essence inside things, rather meaning is always outside. Okay, and now let's understand the concept of structuralist chickens and liberal humanist eggs. Structuralist determines the precise nature of chicken, while liberal humanists closely analyze the egg. And the structuralism is a movement that is away from the interpretation of individual literary work, while human it is a parallel drive toward understanding the larger abstract structure which contain them. It means structuralists understand things in larger structure. Okay, and to understand this concept, let's take an example of John Donne's poem Good Morrow. Structuralists believe that to understand this poem, we should have a clear knowledge of genre to understand this poem. If we have a clear knowledge of genre, then we will be able to understand the poem. It means the structuralists look at the broader aspects. Okay, and now look at the science of father Saussure. Though structuralism proper began, as we said, in 1950s and in decade of 1960s, but we have seen its roots in the thinking of Swiss linguist Ferdinand de Saussure, and his focus was on patterns and functions of language. He emphasized how meanings are maintained and established, and on functions of grammatical structures. And his concept is summarized into three pronouncements by other linguists, and these are first, number one is meaning are purely arbitrary. Second one is meanings of words are relational, and third concept is meaning is not contained within the thing. Now let's see how meanings are purely arbitrary. Saussure says that meaning we give to words are purely arbitrary, and that these meanings are maintained by conventions only. Meanings are unmotivated. According to Saussure, there is no inherent relation between word and what it designates. Like there is no direct relation between word and its meaning. There is no one-to-one correspondence between sign and what it signifies. For example, if we have we take a word bat, bat, and there is no direct relationship between bat word and the wooden structure used to play cricket. Okay, clear. And now let's see how meanings of word are relational. Saussure emphasized that meaning of words are relational. That is, no word can be defined in isolation from other words. The definition of any word and the meaning of any word depend upon its relation with other adjoining words. To understand this concept, now let's take an example of a paradigmatic chain. In this paradigmatic chain, we have words like shed, okay, and hut, house, mention, palace, and in this paradigmatic chain, they have different meanings. But when we remove any one of the word from this chain, and it would alter meaning of the whole chain. As we have word shed and hut, we take shed for shelter and hut for storage. But in absence of any word, other would have to encompass both these meaning, that of the shed and the shelter. Okay, clear? And now let's see its third point, that is meaning is not contained within things. According to Saussure, meaning is always attributed to the object or idea by human mind, and it is not constructed and it is constructed and expressed by language, and meaning is not already contained within the thing. Like we have to take an example, that of terrorist or freedom fighter. There is no neutral objective way of designating such a person, and this is only a choice of term which construct that person in certain ways. And beside these 3 points, Saussure also gave distinction between langue and parole, which gave structuralists a way of thinking about the larger structure which were relevant to literature. And the concept of langue and parole by Ferdinand de Saussure, we will